Hi everyone. So we are back again with the nasal disorders and what are the herbal remedies or the traditional remedies which can be incorporated in disorders related to the nasal passage. If we talk about the nasal disorders, we encounter in our daily life the type of allergies which generally result in a swallowing up of the sinus flutes, or you can say the type of air filled spaces which get swollen or inflamed. So these sinuses, it becomes inflamed, and as a result of this inflammatory reaction or an infection from a virus, bacteria, or fungus, it results in a sneezing pattern, and it is like a type of disorder which is being faced by many people. So we'll be talking about what are the nasal disorders and how the herbal remedies are a pure cure for these nasal disorders. So if I talk about a very common disorder, sinusitis, that is the type of tissue lining that is like sinuses. You know that sinuses are the air-filled spaces in the skull. They are located behind the forehead, nasal bone, cheeks, and eyes. Healthy sinuses, if we talk about healthy sinuses, we are talking about those sinuses which do not contain any type of bacterial growth or germs. So most of the time mucus is able to drain out the air and is able to flow through the sinuses. If I talk about the sinusitis condition, it is present when this tissue lining the sinus, it becomes swollen or inflamed, and it is occurring as a result of an inflammatory reaction or an infection from the virus, bacteria, or fungus. So you can see that this condition is fully contaminated with the growth of virus, bacteria, or fungus. So it can occur from other conditions also, like small hair cilia, which are present in the sinuses. They fail to properly move the mucus out. So this may be due to some medical condition. Also, the another factor which is responsible for this type of reactions are the cold and allergies, which may cause too much mucus to be made, or that may be a result of blocking the openings of the sinus. Also, the deviated nasal passage, nasal bone, or nasal polyps, they may block the opening of the sinuses. If we talk about the type of sinuses, we have acute sinuses, sinusitis, that is when the symptoms are present for 4 weeks or less. We call it acute sinusitis, and it is caused by the bacteria growing in the sinus. Whereas when we go for a very severe condition, we call it chronic sinusitis, where the swelling of the sinus is present for longer than 3 months, and it may be caused by fungus or bacteria. Then we go towards the third category, which is subacute sinusitis, and it is present when the swelling is present between 1 and 3 months. So that is a very long passage. If we talk about what may increase the risk in adult or child, so allergic rhinitis or hay fever, it may be the type of increase in the risk. Then cystic fibrosis, then you have diseases that prevent the cilia from working properly, that may be the reason. Then you have like smoking, the type of lifestyle you're following, the weakened immune system, that may be in typical immunocompromised patients suffering from your HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, or chemotherapies, those who have undergone the sessions of chemotherapy that generally go for weakening of the immune system. So all these factors, they contribute towards the attack of this typical type of infection. So, if we talk about the typical herbal remedies, so we are talking about the herbal remedies which are like used for curing these typical type of nasal disorder. We go towards utilization of a very important herb that is basically a traditional medicine, and it has been directly changing a type of scenario from the synthetic drug pattern to a natural product. So we are back to nature. We are searching in the nature for these type of natural remedies. So if I talk about Agratum conzoides, so this is typically a type of plant or a herb, you can say, or typically a type of weeds. So these weeds are being in abundance in Indonesia, and it generally grows up broadly in both subtropical and tropical areas. If I talk further about it, it is like the name Agratum. It comes from an ancient Greek agarus, which means to stay very young, and conzoides is derived from connois, that means plant. So the plants which can be utilized for staying very young. This herb is generally from tropical America. And finally, the typical type of, you can say the category of this herb is like it generally go for a type of egg like circular shape. And it is, if I talk about the family, it belongs to a very basic composite family, that is your Astraceae family. And finally, if I talk about this, the stems and leaf pattern, the herb has stems and leaf which is being covered here, you can see. And it is being covered by smooth white trioecious leaves also, and you can see the pattern here. And finally, the leaf blade has an egg like circular shape. So you can see the type of leaves here. It is an egg, like egg circular shapes. And finally, the flowers. If we talk about flowers here, yeah, white patterned flowers, you can see that 8 to 15 receptacles in either. It can be a purple color, it can be a white color. And fruits, if we talk about the fruits also, they are black and small. So, if we talk about the traditional value of this herb, this is an annual herb, which is a type of long history. It quotes a type of long history in the benefits of the traditional medicine. It is also considered as a weed also because it is not being utilized in typical cattle rearing and all. Kettles do not consume it due to the odor it is like presenting. So it is also a type of weed, and it has been known since the past time for its medicinal effects. So if we talk about this weed is very effective if we talk about the conditions like headache, then you have arthrosis, then you have any type of inflammatory effects. So it acts in every type of infection. It is a type of antimicrobial, you can say. It acts against many fungal and bacterial infection. If we talk about the bacterial ones, it is very effective against Staphylococcus aureus, Bacillus subtilis, Escherichia coli, and Pseudomonas aeruginosa. In addition, it is very effective in consoling or in helping that wound to get healed, and it is having the anti-inflammatory effects also. What it does, it work to increase the secretion. It does not clog that mucus, it makes it smooth. It helps to dilute that nasal sinuses, which is like causing problems, and they just flush them out of the sinus cavity. And this helps the patient to feel free from that heavy clogged mucus, so he or she is able to breathe effectively. So, if we talk about this weed, it is also known as the goat weed. So, in Africa, goat weed has been used traditionally to relieve the constipation and fever, and it is generally the type of herb is used to treat measles and snake bites also. Whereas in Nigeria, it is also used for the skin diseases, wound healing, diarrhea, pain, and even to treat HIV and AIDS. So, it has a long history of traditional values. If we talk about its leaves, the leaves are consumed as vegetables and also effective in uh, curing the type of problems like tetanus. It is also effective in typhoid fever, malaria, then you have sore throat and candidiasis. So, roots, if we talk about the roots of this herb, these are used in the treatment of like insomnia, that is lack of sleep, diarrhea, and basically applied to baby or the children, very young children. So this typical type of your herb, it is essential oil accounting for about 2%. So the essential oil is very important in terms of it contains alkaloid and saponins, and whole plant it is containing the essential oil, if we talk about this, 0.16% compared to dry medicinal herbs. If we talk about leaves and flower, it contains 0.2% essential oil, and it has a very unpleasant odor. So, if we talk about further the essential oils, it also contain 5% of phenol, your eugenol, with a pleasant odor. And main components, if we talk, we have abundance of main components. You have caryophenol, you have agriotochromine, then you have deoxymetho agriotochromine, and other some ingredients which are very important and act as a type of antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory type of ointments here. So if we further talk about this, the it has anti-inflammatory, edematase, and anti-allergic effects. So if we already talked about it, and basically it is a wild plant, and the remedies for sinusitis from this typical weed or herb, you can say, are very effective. And if we talk about its bacteriostatic property, it generally go for arresting the growth of those bacteria which can cause havoc in terms of the infection and the growth in that sinus area. So, what are like treatments with the essence of these aggregatum conzoitus? So, this is a powerful and direct treatment if we talk about this. And if we talk about the methodology, which is like related to it, it is also very simple. What a patient can do, he or she can take one handful of this fresh aggregatum conzoitus, and it can be washed thoroughly with the help of a dilute salt water to remove the impurities, and finally crush and filter them into a clean liquid. Before nasal drop, they need to clean the nose, and finally after that proceed to drip that 2 to 3 times a day. So this type of formulation can be very effective in terms of nasal allergies, nasal infections. So when we move forward, we have another type of you can say herb, which is like related to your typical nasal disorders, and it can help in particular fighting against these type of nasal disorders. So if we talk about Heliotropicum indicum, that is a typical type of Indian herb. This is slightly woody or at base with a long taproot stem erect, and it has an unbranched or in some cases it may be branched. So if we talk about it, it is generally having long tapering cluster at the branch ends, and flowers here, they are pale violet or it can be white, yellowed, depending upon the different species. So this is being found, Indian heliotrope is being found in all the tropical world. If we talk about the medicinal uses, it has like it is in like from centuries it is used to treat that warts, inflammations and tumors. So this is a very effective herb, and throughout, it has been very effective in scabies, problem, ulcers, eczema, and impetigo. And finally, if we talk about something very important, it is anti-inflammatory. It is effective on wounds, skin ulcers, and furnicles. All type of skin infections can be treated out by this medicine. So if we talk about Heliotropicum indicum, it has effect of eliminating inflammation, reducing pain. So it is also following the same method. We can go for the mixture or combination of Aggregatum conzoides and Helicotrichum indicum. We wash it with the salt water, drain and generally crush them into powder, and add little water and salt, and finally we make a formulation. So it is also 2 to 3 drops for the side of the nose and continuously 10 days. So this finally it has a debated thing that it can be toxic to liver. So it lasts for a long time, so it's difficult to detect. So WHO, they advised against the use of this Helicotrichum indicum, and they finally categorized it as a drug, which cause it can cause liver toxicity, hemorrhage, and even cancers to the user. So they have issued a directive to people in Vietnam and hospital to be cautious whenever they are handling this Heliotropicum indicum. Now, when we go for the third one, that is your Xanthium stromarium. So this is also a typical type of traditional Chinese medicine, you can say, which is being used from the early civilization in clinical uses in nasal disease in terms of acute and chronic rhinitis, allergic rhinitis, and nasal obstruction problems. If we talk about this plant, this is a particular, if we talk about the fruit, it is a predominant, you can see that predominant medicinal part of this Xanthium stromarium. And finally, when we talk about the treatment, this plant, this herb is generally known for the treatment in hepatic heat problems, in liver conditions, and also it is effective in eye diseases. So also you can go for this anti-inflammatory properties, it has antimicrobial properties. It has a typical type of type of healing properties related to the respiratory diseases. If we talk about the composition, it includes Aggregatum conzoides 30 gram, mixed with a honeysuckle 20 grams, Xanthium stromatum 12 gram. So method, it remains the same. You have to crush these and in 4 cups of water and cook until it condenses to 1 cup. So you have to make a very thick type of formulation and need to drink it for 2 to 3 times a day. So to treat the disease, the patient should preserve 5 to 7 days to see the healing effect. So this was all about some of the herbal remedies which can be used easily to treat the nasal disorders or the allergies related to nasal passage. So thank you so much.